traveling? For some people, traveling is an adventure. It's a way to relieve stress and to enjoy the fruits of their labor, to go on a vacation, and to just have fun in life. For some people, travel is a retirement lifestyle. They've retired, and now one of their goals is to travel and to experience certain things. For some people, travel is a business requirement. Whether if they're working for a private company or their own business, they need to travel in order to execute their business plan. So travel has different meanings to different people depending on their individual circumstance. But there's mainly three ways to travel, or at least three that I'll talk about in this video. A car, an RV, or an airplane. Those are three major ways to travel. The fourth would probably be a boat, but for this video, I'll focus on the three that I just mentioned. Now, what we've learned in the past year or so of the global pandemic, the coronavirus, is that you can have an extreme circumstance where not all of those options are available to you, a car, RV, or airplane. You may only have one or none. But in most normal times, and as things return to a level of being normal again, you're going to have the option to go in a car, to go in an RV, or to go into an airplane to travel to your destination. So which out of those three is the best? Well, it goes back to how I opened up the video. What is your purpose for traveling? Are you trying to just see areas locally, domestically? Domestically means like within your own country. As an example, America is 50 states, the United States of America. But 48 of those states are the ones that are mainly connected. The two states that are somewhat not connected to the land and the roadways of America are Hawaii and Alaska. Now, Hawaii is an island, so to get your vehicle there, you would have to fly it over. Alaska, I believe you can drive to it, but you have to kind of go through Canada, and it's a little bit more hard logistically. So when you talk about traveling out of a car, you're mainly going to be restricted to areas that have roadways connected to them, domestic travel, not international travel. And there's some exceptions, even as I just mentioned, within the United States of America. So I think that's the key thing, right? To answer the question, which is best to travel, first you have to answer what type of travel do you want to do? Okay. So if you were just trying to travel to see your country and to see domestic things, I think a car is a great way for many people, not all. Okay. If you're a single person and if you have the ability to get an Airbnb when you want to get a hotel when you want to, and you can budget that in, that may be even more inexpensive than an RV. Because an RV allows you to not have to go to hotels or Airbnbs, because an RV is a home on wheels, whether a travel trailer or a motorhome. So you eliminate the hotels by having a RV, but you almost mandate campgrounds. So when you want to go to the RV lifestyle, you have to ask yourself, do you like staying at campgrounds? Now, you can get around that. You can boondock. You can, stealth park. You can park at Walmarts, Crackle Barrels. You can go into the desert and park in other remote areas. And then you'd have to ask yourself, are you the type of person that you're okay with that, right? So we're doing process of elimination. Out of a car, you have the most flexibility as far as the fuel efficiency, the freedom to go a lot of miles, and make a lot of changes very quickly. But you are limited mainly domestically, and there's going to be times, whether you get sick or if you have a family, certainly you're going to need to stay at a hotel or an Airbnb. If you're in an RV, you're kind of restricted in the same regards to you have to mainly travel where roadways connect you, but you don't need to worry about a hotel or Airbnb. You may need to worry just about a campground, and your unit is self-contained. When it comes to airplanes, now you can basically travel the world. Okay, an airplane gets you anywhere in the globe, in the planet Earth, pretty much, right? So That's for a mind, a lifestyle that has a desire. You have to have a desire before you can, or before you should purchase a resource or live a way that you have to know what type of way you want to live, the lifestyle. So if you don't want to travel internationally and around the world, flying is probably not an option for you. For me, I have no desire to fly. I have no desire to travel internationally. That's me. I know there's some strong people that are very passionate about international travel. That's them. So while, again, you can certainly fly your car or your RV to other countries, for the most part, you'd probably do better off to fly to that country and rent a car, rent an RV. So I think airplanes are the best way to travel for the international travel person that has a desire to kind of go around the entire earth, okay, or the entire, world. Yeah. I think cars are great for people that are single or don't have a lot of luggage and like a lot of mobility and flexibility, and they're mainly going to travel domestically. I think RVs are excellent for families or people who like more comfort, who like campgrounds, or again, they're willing to deal with some boondocking at commercial areas or remote camping. So I think as you break down the categories of travel, car, RV, or airplane, it kind of goes back to the core of who you are, what you're trying to accomplish in your travels, and what your desires and your goals are. Okay. Now, again, if you're just a nomad trying to live cheap, then that's a whole nother video, a whole nother conversation. This video isn't really to necessarily address what's cheaper, what's better. It's kind of to address what's best based on what do you want to do. Okay. If you just want to save money, that's a whole nother video, right? But if you're trying to figure out, should you buy an RV, and as long as you buy below your means, you're just trying to figure out, well, is it better to buy an RV? Is it better to get maybe an SUV? Is it better to just take an airplane? You kind of have to figure out what's your goals. Do you just want to go to Disney World once? Then I wouldn't buy in my opinion, I wouldn't buy a RV or do anything special. If you're just going to go to Disney World once or twice, I would just take an airplane, or maybe even pack in your car and just go and rent a great room, and then you leave. And you do that for a couple times, and then if you really wanted to, do something different, then you change. But always keep the initial investment simple, and don't commit long-term to anything until you have kind of done something for a while. And that was kind of my thought process. And when I became a nomad, is that when I looked at the RV lifestyle and I kind of looked at the travel, right, and what I'm just speaking of, what I learned is, man, if you're not careful, you can overcommit to something and it's not really what your goal is. My goal at the time I sold my house and became a nomad was mainly just to get to Florida. It was mainly to just simplify my life and regroup and look at certain goals I had. Okay, so, and when I looked at RVs, I didn't look at, airplanes, obviously, that had nothing to do with me, but again, I kind of defined, what do I want to do? And I said, well, the RV at this point, it's not worth it for me, because I want maximum flexibility. I'm single. I don't have kids. I don't have pets. If I needed to get off the road, even though I don't want to, I would just Airbnb or hotel. Okay. So, talking that out and looking at who you are will help you and maybe prevent you from buying a $50,000 RV or $100,000 or buying a brand new car, whatever. There's nothing wrong with spending your money on just wanting to enjoy a weekend adventure. If you want to get an RV just to travel on the weekends or just to make a couple trips a year, if it's below your means, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it goes back though, just talk it out, know your desires, know your goals. And as you do that, you'll kind of get an idea of what you're trying to accomplish. And that's different for everyone. But I just encourage you to do that, and that's why I'm making this video, so that you don't just go on the RV dealership lot or the car lot, or you don't just start booking vacations online with airplanes or whatever until you kind of talk out your thought process. Because once you start buying things, going on a car lot, going on an RV lot, booking vacations online, you are very emotional. And when we're very emotional, it's very hard to hold ourselves back. And so we have to really have a focused mind on what we're trying to accomplish so that we help ourselves, don't hurt ourselves. Because the main objective of life is to obviously do things in a manner that we leave ourselves enough room to live the life we want. We don't want to be house poor. We don't want to be RV poor. We don't want to be vacation poor. We want to be empowered through financial freedom, health, wealth, clear mind, good relationships, right? And so that's all part of trying to talk out the emotions and get focused on the plan. So hopefully this video helped you in that way. If it did and you'd like to support the channel, click that blue join button. Check out all my playlists on my channel. Thousands of free videos talking about a variety of things, including things like this. Thank you to all my members. Thank you to those who watched. Keep showing up. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Just by me making this video, focusing my energy, is another video that I have for my channel. It's another step forward in my goals. And that's what you should do. Day by day, step by step. Organize your time, your energy, your resources, and little by little, you do things. Even if they're not perfect, this video is better than someone who's trying to make the perfect video and takes months to upload, in my opinion. Because start now and refine it as you go. All right? Peace.